Hello. It is currently a Sunday. I have just arrived in Dilijan to take a little break from Vanadzor, and the cafe that I wanted to go to was closed. So I defaulted to come for a little hike and then try to find another place to get some work done. I wanted to do like a little check-in video for myself mostly, well, really just for myself, to kind of pinpoint where I'm at right now spiritually so that I have a point of reference for when things get better. It's been a rough period, obviously. I have been dealing with like a lot of fear, anger, sensations of weakness, and I've also been really trying to practice the concept of radical acceptance of every moment, which is very, very difficult. And I mean, honestly, my gratitude is on an all-time high for living in a place that gives me such amazing access to mountains and nature on a regular basis. I love having Cosmo by my side on my adventures and all that jazz, but it's definitely been a struggle to stay focused, to understand where I'm moving, because I'm in such a state of heightened sensitivity, kind of probably more sensitivity than I've ever felt in my adult life. I've been really forcing myself to take things slow and move at a much slower pace than I'm used to. And that has really taken its toll on my confidence, because I realized that so much of my confidence, as so much of what made me feel good about myself before, was based on my speed and efficiency of how I can get things done in work, and connecting very quickly and getting things moving very quickly. And now that, I'm consciously recognizing that I need to slow down, the confidence has kind of taken a dip. So I'm trying to restructure my confidence at the moment in a way that won't be dependent on speed, because I was completely unaware of how intertwined it is, how intertwined my confidence was with the speed at which I move in my life. Look at this, it's so nice. Oh, I love Dilijan. Also, I love how close I live to Dilijan. I really don't take advantage of it enough. It's only like 30-40 minutes away, and it's a very familiar place to me because I've spent a lot of time here. So I should utilize its proximity to me more often. Now that the weather is better, I will be coming here a lot more often, and Cosmo likes it. Another shift that I've been noticing a lot is that I'm really unable to handle cities recently. Every time I go to Yerevan, I get crazy overwhelmed, which was never the case before. I used to think of myself as a total city person, and I remember going to Yerevan for the first time thinking like, what a cute small place. And now when I go, I'm like, why are there so many cars? Why are there so many people? I was like, I had a breakdown on this street the other week because I couldn't find my cab at the intersection where I was standing, because I was just so overwhelmed by all of the movement around me, which is very much unlike me. So a lot of things have been happening for me internally that aren't really in sync with the identity that I had for myself last year. So that's like hypersensitivity, crying all the time. I was talking to my mom about this problem of crying all the time, because I used to have the opposite problem of feeling the emotional buildup of wanting to cry but not being able to. And so I was telling my mom like how extreme this stage of my life felt, but she mentioned that it kind of just feels like I'm making up for all of those years when I wasn't crying, because there were a lot of blocked channels before. But now I'm really ill-equipped to deal with this sensitivity at the moment. But obviously time in nature is kind of the biggest healer. I've also kind of been rethinking my identity around how social I am and how openly communicative I am, because a lot of what has made me feel so connected in Armenia has been how quickly I'm able to make connections, how quickly I'm able to find common ground with people. My Russian has really helped with that now that my Armenian has gotten a lot better. I'm able to communicate more freely in Armenian. So I'm really trying to understand whether that is actually a part of my identity, or again, like something that developed because it was constantly rewarded, similar to the speed thing. Obviously, I still want to be utilizing my skills of openness and communication because they are amazing and strong, but I need to be more wary of who I'm spending my time with, because I realized that I had no filtration system for anybody who I considered like an acquaintance or a friend, or who I would just spend time with generally. And now I'm a lot more conscious of that, and now I'm a lot more isolated as a result. My social circle has really gotten a lot smaller over the last 6 months, which is also a good thing because it has become higher quality. So yeah, the whole social Sashka thing is also kind of something that I find myself getting caught back into when I go to Yerevan, because Yerevan is such a social place and there are so many people that I know there that it's very, very difficult for me to go there and like keep my energy to myself because I don't love keeping my energy to myself when I feel high energy, right? But then I do end up getting very, very drained. And so also raising more consciousness for myself around that has been interesting. Once again, this view is so beautiful. Is that a good tree, Cosmo? Look at these beautiful podснежники. What are these called in English? The undersnows? I love these little things. The first sign of spring. Well, not the first, but one of. Look at this cool piece of obsidian that I just found. So one of the other things around fear that's been reactivated recently is my fear of men that I don't know, which has been very unpleasant because in my life I've come across a lot of men that I don't know. So it's been a big bummer to be scared of all of them. So one of the reasons that a lot of my fear has been reactivated recently is because I had these two situations in Yerevan in February where a taxi driver touched my thigh and then like a stranger on the street like kind of took me by the arm, and in both times I had panic attacks, which was very, very unsettling because I haven't had panic attacks since 2017. So I've definitely been trying to ground myself as much as possible since then, but it's been interesting to be so aware of the fear that I have. Even just now when I was walking, we came across a guy on the road, and I was startled immediately, and I think that Cosmo could feel immediately that I was startled, and so he started being super aggressive towards this guy, which isn't usually the case, but yeah, we passed ways very quickly, and I'm super grateful to have Cosmo by my side. Oh, there he is by my side. I'm super happy to have Cosmo by my side for that reason, but I also need to figure out, and right now I'm really going through the process of understanding how to feel the same sense of safety when Cosmo is not near me. So figuring out how I can bring that sense of safety to myself, from myself. So I'm very excited to see how that will progress over the next over the next few months. Grounding in nature has been the ultimate medicine these days, and also I am kind of stepping into a little bit more power of vulnerability, which is what I've been working around with all the crying that I've been doing, because I really do perceive crying as weakness. I know that that is a fault that I have, and that's when I cry, I perceive myself as weak, when actually what I'm trying to like reprogram my brain towards is finding power in vulnerability, is finding, you know, the purity of expression and the cleansing process that is crying. But that's a really difficult one because I have never viewed crying in a positive light, and now that it's happening so much to me, I have to, which is a good lesson, I guess. Feels very, very good to be moving. I went for a nice hike yesterday as well, and I really think I would be doing a lot worse if I didn't have access to such easy hiking. And I was really struggling when I was in Toronto. Even though there's a nice lake by my house, I've really learned that at this point in my life, and I assume for the rest of my life, I'm really not willing to sacrifice mountains as a part of my lifestyle. Yeah, I think that'll have to be a constant forever, because first of all, I feel very unprotected when there are no mountains around. Like flat land makes me very, very uncomfortable now for some reason. And second of all, not having mountains in sight means that there are no mountains to escape to within walking distance, which is also something that makes me very uncomfortable. So yeah, basically feeling blessed to live where I live and have such easy access, and for free, obviously. This is my very first time in this little forest. I was looking at it from when we were a bit higher, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to come here by foot from that side, but there was a path. The air here is a top notch. Sorry, my nose is running. Whoops. Check out this. This place is amazing. Check out this little bench. I guess I kind of want to try and articulate like where I want to be 4 or 5 months from now in terms of my spiritual state. Definitely want any sense of anxiety that I have to go down. I want to release the idea that crying is an expression of weakness. I want to have like tangible methods in place for how to make myself feel safe, or at least have the illusion of safety. Watch 6 months from now, I'm gonna be driving that white Niva. It's coming to me, I can feel it. I'm starting driving lessons next week actually. I already know how to drive automatic, but I need to learn mechanical to make that specific dream come true. What else? I want to have a new structure around what my confidence stems from, because I was struggling with my confidence recently, but I still don't have a clear grasp as to how to rebuild that confidence or what to rebuild it around, because I don't want to rebuild it around the same things of like productivity and speed. I want to rebuild it around something else, like, I don't know, living as presently as possible. But that doesn't sound really sincere, to be like confident about living slowly, but that is, I think, what I want the confidence to stem from, is slowness, the luxury of an unrushed life. I don't know, I'll be thinking about that. I'll be marinating over it for the next little bit. I'm so grateful that the cafe that I wanted to sit at today wasn't open when I arrived, because otherwise I wouldn't have come up here. And I discovered 2 very cool new spots. Next time I come, I'll bring like some friends and do a bit of a longer excursion, because I think from here you can hike all the way to like Gosh Lake and then Parslich. But the cool thing about that cafe that I want to try out, it's called Bonbonnaire. It's probably not French, but they're pet friendly, so I can take Cosmo there. When I saw that on their website, I was like, I'm going there immediately. What is unique? Cosmo, come here. Come here. Come here, baby. We gotta put your leash on. Oh, you good puppy. Okay, let's go.